This is a $1 yo-yo. It's cheap, it's basic, but is it really that bad? On the flip side, we've got some yo-yos out there that cost more than you would ever imagine. From budget-friendly to high-end, I'm gonna compare them all. And at the end of this video, we're gonna be looking at the most expensive yo-yo I own and figuring out if it's truly worth the price. Let's see how much performance you can truly get out of $1. Oh, better than I expected. I noticed it's really hard to wind up this one though, and this string is terrible. This only spins for a couple seconds, so not a good yo-yo. This thing is not gonna cut it. Moving up to a $10 yo-yo, at 10 times the price, this one can spin a lot longer, and it's also a good amount wider. The extra weight on this yo-yo combined with a longer spin time makes this much better than the dollar store yo-yo. It's called the Spinstar, and it's definitely the best beginner option at a low price point, as you can learn all of the responsive yo-yo tricks. You can get this from the first link in the description. It's called the Intro Pack and comes with a Spinstar yo-yo as well as 5 extra strings for when you get knots. The Spinstar will definitely be limiting if you're trying to learn unresponsive yo-yo tricks, but for those of you starting out as a beginner, this one will work just fine. But how does the Spinstar compare to a $45 more advanced option? Let's find out with my signature Spotlight yo-yo. The biggest difference between this one and the previous two is that the $1 and $10 yo-yos are made of plastic, while the Spotlight is made out of metal. More specifically, 6061 aluminum. The first unresponsive yo-yo in this video, which basically means that when you throw the yo-yo, it won't come back to your hand unless you learn a trick called the bind to bring it back. The Spotlight's also wider, allowing you to easily catch the yo-yo during string tricks. Tricks such as trapeze and Eli hops become a lot easier. All of this, combined with the added durability of the 6061 aluminum, helps justify the $45 price tag. Just a side note, but I also used this yo-yo to get my very first podium finish at the US National Yo-Yo Contest back in 2022, as well as 7th place in the online World Yo-Yo Contest that year. Since then, my yo-yo contest placements have been getting better and better, and at the same time, I've been using progressively more expensive versions of my signature yo-yo. Coincidence? Let's find out by trying a $60 version of the Spotlight. This one's called the Spotlight Ultra, and the reason it's more expensive than the original Spotlight is that it's made out of a higher grade of aluminum called 7068, as opposed to the 6061 of the original version of the yo-yo. This upgraded type of aluminum not only helps with the durability of the yo-yo, but also makes it spin longer, smoother, and more consistently when doing tricks. It also has what's called a polished gap, which helps prevent snags from happening and makes difficult binds even easier than ever before. I used the Spotlight Ultra for the whole 2023 contest season, which ended up going very well for me, where I picked up 4 contest wins in a row as well as a 2nd place finish at the US National Yo-Yo Contest. Many people consider this one of the best mono-metal yo-yos due to its very wide and comfortable shape. And this was the main reason I was able to get my tricks consistent for the contest in 2023. Now this is a $70 version of the Spotlight Ultra. Still the same yo-yo, but a bit more expensive due to how it's made. Now onto this $100 yo-yo. The most recent addition to my signature line called the Starlight. It features a bimetal design, meaning it's made of 2 metals, 6061 aluminum, and the silver rims are stainless steel. Bimetals are specifically made to have more weight on the rims of the yo-yo, which lead to more spin time and more stability. Also, this extremely wide shape helps you achieve your most impossible tricks. Things that you never thought would be possible, now are possible. This is because the wider a yo-yo gets, the more room for error you have when you're doing tricks, so that prevents a lot of string hit misses, which means you don't have to worry as much when you're doing high-stress tricks, like over the head, horizontal, big whip tricks, and it can even handle more technical tricks due to a smaller than average diameter. This is the first prototype of the yo-yo I'll be using for 2025, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing where it'll take me. I have hundreds of yo-yos, but now I'm going to show you the most expensive one in my collection. What makes it so expensive? How much does it cost? And is it even worth the price? All these questions will be answered very soon. Starting with the first question, what makes it so expensive? The answer might surprise you. When you think of a yo-yo, you probably think of a bright colored plastic one that you can get at the dollar store. There are also some made of wood. This particular one is made out of metal. But not just any metal, it's made from the same material as golf clubs, bikes, and sometimes even airplanes. This yo-yo is made out of titanium. And since titanium is expensive, a yo-yo made from this material will also be expensive. On to question number 2. How much does this yo-yo cost? Do you think you can guess correctly? I'm gonna do a couple tricks, then reveal the answer. This is my most expensive yo-yo. One of only 7 prototypes ever made. The price? $350. So is it worth the price? I'm going to test it in 3 different categories to find out, starting with performance. Can this yo-yo handle one of the most difficult tricks in the world? I'll be attempting my signature trick called the French Flex, which you may have seen me do on the Netflix series We Are the Champions. Here we go. Next up, durability. I mean, if you're gonna spend that kind of money on a yo-yo, you're gonna want it to last for a while, right? Again, for reference, this is what happens when the $1 yo-yo hits the ground. Now, let's test how much the $350 titanium yo-yo can handle. But what really sets this yo-yo apart is its uniqueness. I'm going to show you something you can only do with a titanium yo-yo. So, is it worth the price? This may not be for everybody, but it quickly becomes a favorite for those who own it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you might like this other one where I show you my top 5 most impossible yo-yo tricks.